everyone, this is Kiki here, and I'm not gonna start with anything. I'm just gonna cut right to the chase of how to make plants, potted plants, or plants for your game. I'm gonna be releasing 10 tutorial videos a month, so stay tuned. Today, we're gonna be doing potted plants. I have some examples. They don't have to be your usual plant. They can have flowers on them. It can even be a mini beach. But we are going to be working on them today. So, how are you going to make these? When you load up, this new MakerPen menu is awesome, but it's not very user-friendly anymore. Now it is harder to navigate for beginners. So, what we want to do is get to know mainly what these three do. Just for building this potted plant, you can explore logging more. And of course, this room just shows you the room that you're in. So, basically, I'm just going to be making a little plant, very simple. So, go to your palette, and once you're in here, make sure you're on the Shapes tab, then click on Tube. Then, go to your tools. This is where all your settings are. So, what we're going to be doing is go to Create Tube Settings, and our tube radius. I'm going to turn that up to about 1.25, around there. Then tube to height scale, 02, and tube facets on 10. And then put the tube analog mode on raw, smooth tubes are on, connect by near tubes are on. And of course, click on here and make sure you have uniform shapes on, object default, scale, and scale with players on. So now we have this tube that should look like this, but the leaves aren't orange, maybe some of them, but the leaves that I'm making aren't orange. So we're going to go to Palette on the bottom menu of our MakerPen and swatches. This should show you all the different colors you will need. And you can actually save the colors in here on your menu. So you can save the same color to make the same leaf. So I'm going to go for a green color. I like the mellowish green of Terra Verde. And then my material, I'll go with the carpet, but I don't like it to look like it's actual carpet. I want it to have that texture but bigger. So the size of the texture, I can scale it up. But if you already drew your thing and you want the size to be different, no worries. There's a way to fix that. Go to your tools, configure on the top right, and then take this purple laser and point it at the shape. Make sure you are editing the shape, which means you cannot configure anything else in the room other than the shape. Then we have this, where you can control your size even after you've made it. So now let's go back to our palette, our tools, and click on Create again. And see, it'll shoot out this little piece. That's connecting it to the tube. So and now with this tube mode on, the less you squeeze, the tinier it gets, and the more you squeeze, the bigger it gets. So we're just going to go ahead and squeeze less, and less, and less. Let's move it up so we have room. And less until we have our leaf shape. And if you moved it or you messed up the tubing, don't worry. Undo shape on your tools bar on the top left. So, now that we have our leaf, it looks pretty basic. I want another color to be in this leaf. Well, that's where color mixing comes in. This is what color mixing looks like. It's a different color here than here. So, how are we going to do this? Make sure you are still editing the shape, and then click Clone. Hover it over, and just clone it randomly like that. Then, go back to Palette. Make sure you're on Swatches. Actually, go to Tools, and go to Recolor. So now, it will show you the color right here. So So I'm going to keep the same color. I'm just going to change the texture. And I'm going to change it to grip tape. See, so now we have a glossier texture, but then it makes this weird overlapping that looks too artificial. So now we're going to click on the manipulate tool, then pick either shape. I'm going to pick the top one that I just placed down. And if you grab these vertices, you can grab them and drag them into places you want. So I'm just going to make it like this natural color like that. And if you want to, you can put a little line down the middle like that, but I'm not going to do that right now. I think these leaves look pretty nice. So now that we have our leaf, where is our leaf going to go? Well, we could make a pot. How would we make a pot? A lot of people would do the approach with shapes, but this is about tubes, and shapes make a janky looking weird circle pot. You want your pots to look modern in however way you want to make them. These are some different designs of pots. You can do whatever you want with tube. So now, drop your maker pen so you're not editing that shape anymore. So now the two shapes move together and have the same hitbox. Then let me click undo on that. So now I'm going to go to palette, and over here, back on tube, down on tools. Then we can access, make sure we're in create tube settings. Then let's keep that as our tube radius. Make sure it's like that. So I want a nice yellow, 60s pot, a nice yellow. For some reason, I'm feeling yellow. So I'm going to go over to smudges. I'm going to change my color to yellow, but that's too vibrant. So if I click on my material, I can change it to whatever I want. I like the grass version. So now I'm just going to start it, and let me undo that. Wait. Okay, because I want this to be a straight pot. You can do this by using surface, but you would notice if I do that and I move it down, oh, they actually fixed it. Never mind. We can go to surface and make our pot like this. So let's keep our pot. I'm just going to make this, kind of vasey looking pot. Like this. Now, if I stick it in the ground, where it's going to go, you can also layer textures on this, but I'm not going to right now. So now that we have our pot, where are the leaves just growing out of the pot? No, they're not. They have to have some dirt. So now, after you've dropped your maker pen, just to teach you how to use it, click manipulate again, and then manipulate on it so you can be editing the object again. Now we're going to put some dirt in there. So we're going to go to create, make our snapping appear, off from surface to grid. Now that we have it right here, now we are going to go to our palette and change our our color to ochre. That's just my choice, and conveniently, there's a dirt texture. So now, let me take this dirt and then click back on tools and use the clone tool. If we hover this blue laser over it, we can clone the dirt in a natural way, like so. So now we have our dirt. So let's put this together. We only need to make one leaf because we can now stick it in, then clone it, then clone it again, clone it again, clone it again. And then I just made a few clones, and then what I'll do is I'll select them all and merge the shapes. Then I'll choose the clone tool again and clone it. Then clone it. And then clone it. And there we go. Now, if we click the select tool again, like what we did before, if we select all these, the options tag should show up. If it doesn't, then unselect it and then select it again, then there should be one. Then hover it over the options like before and click merge shape. I'll only merge the pot to this. And there we go. I'm just going to scale it down just to make it more convenient for me. And this will fit perfectly right here. Now, thank you everyone for watching. I really hope this helped you, and if it didn't, then, leave it in the comments, because I'm new to this stuff. And if you want to see anything else, any ideas that you need to know how to do, just comment it down below as well. I'll leave my rec room name in the comments so you can check out some of my inventions. Have a good night, and stay safe.